Growing old alone can feel like standing still while the world rushes past. The house gets quieter, phone calls fewer, and days sometimes stretch longer than they should. But here's a truth no one tells you enough: even when you're alone, you don't have to be lonely. Your later years can still be beautiful, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling if you do a few simple things every single day. Today, let's walk through daily habits and mindset shifts that can help you find happiness even when the house is quiet and the days are long. Because being alone doesn't have to mean being empty. 1. Start your day with a purpose. Script: the most dangerous part of living alone in old age isn't the silence, it's waking up without a reason to get out of bed. Your purpose doesn't need to be big. It doesn't have to be world-changing. It could be as small as tending to your plants, calling a grandchild, finishing a puzzle, or feeding the birds. When you wake up, say out loud one thing you're going to do that matters today. It might be, I'll bake a pie, or I'll walk to the park and smile at someone, or I'll write one page in my journal. This habit shifts your mindset from existing to living, and that small difference is everything. Elderly person making a cup of tea and looking out the window. Close-up of a to-do list: 1. Water the plants. 2. Write a letter. Sunlight coming through the window as the person stretches with purpose. 2. Move your body, even a little. Loneliness worsens when our body slows down. A still body leads to a still mind, and that can turn into sadness. You don't need a gym or fancy routines. Just 10 to 20 minutes of movement a day can change your brain chemistry and lift your mood. Take a walk around your block, stretch your arms. March in place while watching TV, put on music and sway your hands in the kitchen while cooking. Movement sends a message to your brain: I'm alive, I'm still in this. And over time, this movement becomes more than physical, it becomes emotional. You'll feel more present, more awake, and yes, even a little happier. A senior walking slowly with a cane by the trees. Elderly woman dancing lightly in her living room. Chair yoga in the morning sunlight. 3. Speak to one human soul each day. One of the deepest human needs is to be seen, truly seen. Living alone doesn't mean we stop needing connection. Make it your goal to talk to one person every day. It could be a friend, a neighbor, a shopkeeper, a nurse, or even someone online. You could write letters if your voice is tired, or leave kind voice notes to family. Or volunteer to check in on others by phone. What matters is human contact. Because every hello becomes a thread that ties you back into the fabric of life. Even 5 minutes of connection can change your whole day. And here's a secret: when you reach out to others, they often need it just as much as you do. Old man smiling during a video call. A senior writing a letter or postcard. Brief friendly exchange at a grocery store. 4. Feed your mind with positivity. The mind of someone living alone is a sacred place, but it's also vulnerable. If you sit in silence too long, the mind fills in the gaps with fear, regret, or sadness. That's why you must feed it, not just with memories, but with new beauty. Read a book, watch something funny. Learn a small new skill, play word games or puzzles. Listen to soothing music or inspiring podcasts. Even 5 minutes of mental stimulation daily can keep your mind feeling sharp and alive. Remember, your brain still hungers for joy, wisdom, curiosity, and growth, no matter your age. Elderly person reading a book and smiling. Doing a crossword with a pencil. Watching an inspiring documentary while sipping tea. 5. Practice one act of self-kindness. When you live alone, you become your own best friend or your worst critic. So each day, do something gentle for yourself. Take a long warm bath. Light a candle while you eat. Moisturize your hands slowly. Talk to yourself kindly in the mirror. Dress nicely even if no one will see. These acts of self-care are not silly. They are sacred. They tell your heart, you matter. You're worth caring for. Even whispering "I'm proud of you" to your reflection can melt years of loneliness. You don't need others to validate your worth. You are enough, just as you are. Lighting a candle at the table for dinner. Putting on a scarf with care and looking in the mirror. A hand gently massaging lotion into wrinkled hands. 6. And each day with gratitude. Nighttime can feel like the loneliest time when you're on your own, but it doesn't have to be that way. Before bed, take 5 minutes to list 3 things you're thankful for. It could be the taste of your breakfast, the voice of a grandchild, the feel of clean sheets, or the sound of birds. This simple habit rewires your mind away from what's missing and toward what's still beautiful. You'll sleep better. You'll feel calmer. You'll see your life not as empty, but as full of little treasures that are still yours. Elderly person writing in a gratitude journal. Smiling softly while looking at the moon outside, tucking into bed with a peaceful expression. 7. Revisit old memories, but don't live in them. It's natural, when you're alone, to reach back into your memories, to replay moments with loved ones, to visit the laughter and the heartbreak. Old photos, familiar songs, and favorite recipes can bring deep comfort. But there's a gentle line between revisiting your past and living in it. Let yourself enjoy the memories. Open the photo albums, talk to the walls if you must. But when the tears come, let them fall, and then gently return to the present. The past shaped you, but it's the present that holds your breath, your heartbeat, your next smile. Each day, give yourself permission to remember, but also to keep writing new chapters. Your story isn't over yet. Elderly woman looking through a box of old photos. A quiet tear, and then a soft smile. Sitting peacefully by the window with a photo frame. 8. Care for something living. Nothing eases loneliness like caring for another life, even a small one. If you can, adopt a plant, a small potted flower, a cactus. Or if you're up for it, a pet, maybe a cat, a bird, or even a dog. Tending to something living gives you a daily sense of responsibility, purpose, and companionship. Watching it grow, feeding it, talking to it, all of this brings back rhythm to your life. Even if it's just talking to the birds outside or pouring water for a stray cat, these acts connect you to life beyond yourself. Loneliness fades when you realize you're still needed. Senior gently watering a potted plant, a dog curled up near their feet. Feeding birds in the garden. 9. Create something with your hands. There's a powerful joy in making something, even something small. It might be knitting a scarf, painting, writing poetry, sewing a button, making jam, or simply drawing patterns in a notebook. Creating brings you back into the moment. It slows time. It says, here is something I made with care. I still have something to offer. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be skilled. Just creating for the sake of your own joy is more than enough. And sometimes, what you create can even become a gift, a way to connect with others again. Let your hands remind you that they still hold beauty. Elderly man sketching with a pencil, knitting close up in warm lighting. Handwriting a card to send to someone. 10. Talk to the divine, in your own way. In silence, many people find the divine. You don't have to be religious to speak from your soul. You can pray, meditate, or simply sit in stillness and whisper your thoughts to something greater than yourself. Every day, take a few minutes to speak from your heart, whether to God, the universe, or simply the silence itself. Say your fears, your gratitude, your regrets, your hopes. When no one else is around to listen, the divine still is. You are not alone. You are never truly alone. Let your spirit find peace in that quiet connection. Candle flickering beside a Bible or prayer beads. A senior sitting in a quiet garden, eyes closed. Close-up of a hand resting on a heart during quiet reflection, final reflection, and gentle goodbye. You may live alone, but your life is still rich. You still have light to give. You still have mornings to greet. You still have laughter to share, even if only with yourself. Every breath you take is a message. I'm still here. I still matter. So whether your days are filled with visits or silence, remember, you can build joy from the inside. You can shape peace with your own hands. You can live beautifully, even alone. And if your heart ever feels heavy, come back to these habits. One step at a time, you'll find your rhythm again. Because you, dear listener, are a treasure, still breathing, still shining.